you?
Good, good, very good, very good. How's everything? How's the weather?
Wonderful.
Oh, that's good. That's a
Oh my
blessing.
gosh, we're still the tail end of the blizzard. It's like
Oh
safe to
no.
go outside again, but it's like a little bit of
Oh wow. Oh God.
Sorry, all my work background.
And especially, hey, how you doing?
Good, how are y'all?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? I'm hearing from your colleague that you're having challenging weather right now.
Oh, it's the worst. My allergies are out of this world, so I promise I'm not sick. I just
Oh no.
am struggling.
Oh no, no worries, no worries at all. We'll take it easy on you. So joining us today on behalf of SCJ, our educational initiative, and our special guest from Thornwood High School, King College Prep, and University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Joining us today is two special guests, two cornerstones of the best cheerleading team in NFL history, the Denver Broncos cheer squad. Let's give a huge South Side of Chicago welcome to Breanna and Taylor. All right.
Hi, y'all. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we have our special entertainment correspondent in the house. She is an honor roll sophomore student at HBCU's Howard University, and former captain of Kenwood Academy's cheer squad a couple of years ago. Mariah Webster is in the house. How you doing, Miss Webster?
I'm doing good. Good morning, ladies. I'm so excited to be speaking with you all.
likewise.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much. We're definitely humbled by you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here today. My first question is, as you probably know, the NFL Chicago Bears is one of only three teams that does not have a cheer leading squad for some reason. So, but I know the other 28 NFL teams do. And especially in Chicago, the Denver Broncos cheer squad with the students seeing y'all on TV, whether it be on the NFL Network, Super Bowl, Pro Bowl, NFL on CBS, which carries a lot of the AFC games. Just seeing y'all perform and execute your choreography. You've developed essentially without even knowing tons of fans here in the city of Chicago. So I don't know if
Wow,
you, so
that's
I don't know if
so
you know that.
appreciated. Thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
that's the best news I've gotten all day.
No, we appreciate it. And I know that we meet a lot of fans day in and day out, and it doesn't have to be Broncos fans, but at least Broncos cheer fans.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. So I'm gonna ask the first couple of questions, and then I'll pass the microphone to Mariah and any King College Prep students. I know Coach Franklin from Hoyne Elementary School in Chi-Town All Stars is in the house, and so any King College Prep or University of Arkansas Pine Bluff students that would like to chime in and ask a question, please do. Either put it in the chat or raise your hand, and then I'll I'm more than honored to pass the microphone to you. So my first question is, how tough of an adjustment was the 2020 season for the two of you? What adjustments were made with the COVID-19 restrictions with the cheer team, and do you still execute community in person events? Because I know your cheer team in particular which what makes the Denver Broncos cheer squad so iconic is not only your performance on the field, but your outreach in the community with community events. So were you able during 2020 to still execute in a social distancing manner in-person community events?
Yes, we were. So adjusting to COVID-19 in the NFL world was day by day. As many people know, we were seeing changes up until literally kickoff and what the game day experience would look like. So our season was very different than what we would typically see on an average year. But at the same time, it allowed us a ton of opportunity to get more involved in the community. At the end of the day, when it comes to being an NFL cheerleader, at least with the Denver Broncos, we all have jobs outside of the team. So in previous years, game days and practice for game days were a huge commitment of time. But this year, because of the shift, we've been able to do a lot more community events, access a lot more groups that we weren't able to before, and do a lot of things in the community that we've never done before, which was a really great silver lining to a year that was unlike any before.
Mhm.
And I think one thing that I am positive too, like the silver lining that I really like to take away from this year is typically when we do auditions for the team, it's typically all in person. You come to Colorado, you do it all in the stadium, and it's all in person. Well, now that it's virtual, we have more opportunities for women all over the United States to audition for us. And it really just like, raises the bar, makes it more competitive. And it's really, really exciting to get to know more women all around the United States that are in the pro cheer world.
Oh, wow. And speaking about Denver, Colorado, what are some of of your favorite tourist sites in Denver, Colorado, in case, say, one of the students wanted to plan their family vacation this summer in Denver? What are some of the top tourist spots?
Where would you go, Taylor?
Oh gosh, I mean, the mountains are just a stone's throw away. You definitely have to go to the mountains. Red Rocks are really close to, the Denver metro area and absolutely beautiful. We also have down in your stomping grounds, Garden of the Gods, and some really awesome places down a little bit south. I think Colorado, I mean, we're definitely a fun city, but the natural aspects of like natural beauty of Colorado and the Rockies are just, you can't beat it.
Totally.
But also stop by Empower Field.
Come say hi to us.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, definitely. Yeah. What is your greatest achievement as a Denver Broncos cheerleader?
Oh, that's so tough. I think in retrospect, I think it's always easier to look back and see, something that you're really proud of it. And both Breanna and I are really like right in the thick of it. But I think something that I'm personally very proud about is the Empowerment Summit series that I've been working with our community department with. It's a virtual program, so anyone and everybody from anywhere. So I encourage you all to kind of check it out, can take these sessions that we've put online that are designed to help female high school students become empowered leaders and stronger women in their community. And I think we have been able to stretch the impact of it because of COVID, because we went completely virtual. And I truly believe in all the messages and all the sessions. So that's something that the entire team is very involved in. We do Beyond the Boots book that we sell, and some of the proceeds go to this event. But also it's something that I've been able to host in the past, and I just look forward to see where it goes in the future.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And jumping off of Taylor's point, I will say we do a lot, just because the point of this job is not to be pretty, fun, bubbly, cool women to be around. It's the impact you make in the community. So one thing that I love to take away, and it's my absolute favorite, just because kids are my absolute favorite thing on the planet. But we have a JDBC program, our Junior Denver Broncos Cheerleaders. They get to spend time with us personally in our own personal squads of between 10 to 15 girls per group. And they just come, they dance with us, they cheer with us on the field, they come do community outreach events with us. They just kind of get to see what it's kind of like the day in the life of an NFL cheerleader kind of deal, but they get to do it at least 6, 7 times a season, which is kind of a big deal.
Oh yeah.
And it's really incredible getting to work with them, because I know that I received the JDBC Instructor of the Year award my second year. Unfortunately, I worked really, really hard so that I could get it this year, but we didn't have JDBC this year. So hopefully we can get them back this coming season. But JDBC is really an incredible program.
Definitely, definitely. Coach Franklin from Hoyne Elementary School had a question. And was there a special dance professor or teacher back in elementary school or high school that helped you reach the big heights in your respective dance careers?
It's funny, for me, I had one distinct teacher that was just incredible, ballet teacher. She was so nice to me. I'm the tallest on the team, so I am between 5'10", 5'11" ish, depending on what shoes I'm wearing. And
Oh,
sometimes
wow.
they're usually pretty tall, but I'm the tallest on the team currently. And growing up, I was the awkward string bean that like walked around like Bambi, and it was really, really funny to watch me dance. But I had one ballet teacher that was just, always grinding. She was like, hey, you gotta put in the hard work at the bar, or you're just gonna fall flat. And I was like, okay. So I did, and then I hated it, did not like ballet for a very, very long time. And then finally it clicked one day for me when I was in college. And then I was like, okay, I love ballet. This is fun. And if it weren't for her, I probably wouldn't be where I am today.
Mm.
Wait, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry, there were sirens in the background. I was trying to eliminate. Yeah, so I had a couple that were really impactful for me. One of my teachers who I grew up at her studio, and now I'm lucky enough to go back and teach at her studio, Miss Stephanie, was also a Denver Broncos cheerleader. She was one of the first Denver Broncos cheerleaders back in 1993. So that really shaped kind of what I thought of the dance world, and what really drew my passion from was being able to have a role model and see what she had accomplished. And then it was full circle to come 20 years later and be able to wear the same chaps that she did. It just meant the world to me, because she just played such a fundamental role in my life, and I saw her every day after school. But also, I think we also have a huge role model in the Denver community in Cleo Parker Robinson. She owns a Black or Afrocentric company here in Denver, and as a Denver native, especially in the 90s, early 2000s, it was so impactful to see really strong African American dancers doing beautiful things and having incredible technique and being professional dancers in a world that you don't always see faces that look like yours. So just look up to her and really appreciate for the role she played in making me believe that I could do this.
Oh wow. And then I'm gonna ask a 2-part question before I pass the microphone to Mariah. And once again, the other students on the call, if y'all want to jump in and ask a question, it looks like Trinice, just by her facial expression, she's waiting to dive in and ask a couple of questions. So I'm gonna go to y'all shortly. How many ladies did you have to audition against to become a Denver Bronco cheerleader? And does Denver Broncos veteran cheer members have to re-audition every year?
Yes, we do. So in an average audition year, like you said, we just kind of came off an unprecedented season. We see anywhere from 150 to 250 people in-person auditions. This year, virtual year, we saw upwards of 200 and near 300 auditionees, and we're anticipating even more this year. So that's kind of the entire field. Each year, we select 26 girls, or there will be 26 girls this year. Last year, once again, a little bit different, so we only had 21. But we will have 26 ladies on the team this year, and we do have to audition every year. So something that I'm very proud about being a Denver Broncos cheerleader is we earn it. We work for it. We stay up on our technique. We stay up on our training and our physical fitness and our ability to be out in the community and our passion for Denver. At no point in time do we just walk onto this team. And I think it makes the team stronger for it.
Mm-hmm.
Good takeaway, Taylor. That you took all the words out of my mouth. I wouldn't have done that, but that was perfect.
I'm gonna go to Trinice, and then I'm gonna go to Mariah Webster. Trinice.
Hi, how long is y'all training camp last?
Good question. So I don't know if you guys have seen, you know, other pro cheer teams and how their training camps work, but the way ours works is you make the team, and then from there we have one whole weekend of learning all of our routines for the season. I know that sounds like a lot, but they make it so easy and so fun and so exciting throughout the day. All throughout Saturday and Sunday, it is learning a routine, processing it, videotaping it, throwing it out of your head, and then just keep going. And we, as a team, we form 4 whole lines. We've got the tall, the medium, and the small. That's kind of how it goes. And we all take turns videotaping. So it kind of keeps people from, you know, getting too brain dead, but it's a fun weekend, and they provide us lunch, and they are always joking around with us in the studio. So it's a fun weekend more than, you know, a stressful time. The word training camp kind of gives me anxiety because it's just like, it sounds so almost negative, but it really is a good time.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. All right, cool. Miss Griffith, you have a question?
Hi, yeah, I had a question. What made you guys decide that professional cheering slash dancing was something that you wanted to actually put forth effort into?
Absolutely. I think when I made the decision was actually after I became an adult. I walked away from dance for many years, not for any particular reason. I just graduated college, started my professional career, and didn't really prioritize dancing. And I turned back to dance as a form of fitness, but I really realized that it was my reprieve, it was my paradise. You know, there was not a bad thought in the world whenever I was dancing. So that's when I chose to pursue it professionally. And I think Broncos for me has been the perfect opportunity because I'm allowed to have my professional career and balance it with something I'm super passionate. And then you throw in the added bonus of being able to get around the Denver community and be involved with the fabric of what Colorado is. And it's just the perfect trifecta for me.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for me, it was officially, I decided I graduated high school because dance was my life. I took a year off my senior year just to do all the senior year things. And then my mom was just kind of like, just go audition for a couple teams up in Denver. Like, what's the worst that happens? They tell you no. And I'm like, okay, like I'll try. And audition for the Colorado Mammoth, which is the indoor lacrosse team here in Denver. And it worked out great. It was super fun. Did that for 2 years and then made Broncos. And it almost feels like this is just like, it's just a nice relax after a really long day at work or a really long day of, you know, really everyday tasks. So I really do think that professional dance has brought so much to my life.
And certainly don't get us wrong, like we both love this and prioritize it and work for it. And you know, it is tough to audition to, but you really just you can't beat the feeling of dancing for other people. And whether it's 5 of your closest friends or 75,000 people, it's like a unique little place in my heart that just starts to tingle whenever I get to, you know, show a piece of what I love to the world, and professional dance is that outlet.
How much do you miss 76,000 plus sold out crowd capacity at Empower Field in Mile High? How cautiously optimistic are you about performing in front of maybe in front of fans for the 2021 football season? I don't know what the fan capacity cap will turn out to be. I know in certain NBA cities, they're doing a gradual like 10%, 15% gradual opening, like the Atlanta Hawk games, Dallas Maverick games, for example, are allowing like 10 to 15% capacity. How confident are you that you will be performing in front of fans once the season home opener comes around after Labor Day in September.
Yeah, well, we definitely will not have 76,000 fans, unfortunately, but COVID is a real thing and we got to be safe. I'm not kidding, guys. It is the most incredible feeling on the planet when you walk out of the tunnel and you hear everyone. And I think when we're at the end of a game and you're about to win, and usually it's Raider games and you're just like, let's go. And we're about to beat them. And it is so awesome. It's just the best feeling. And sometimes you forget you're a cheerleader on the sidelines and you're just like, let's go. And you're like, oh wait, compose.
Yeah, definitely. Mariah Webster from HBCU's Howard University has a couple of critically acclaimed questions ready to ask the ladies.
Yes, thank you for that introduction. So I've just been taking mental note of everything that you ladies have been saying, and you guys are like, you do community service, you're doing your own jobs, you're working with the girls, you're keeping your bodies up. And I just have to ask, can you please share some advice on time management? You guys are like super women.
Taylor's better at it than I am. You go for it, Tay.
Oh, I appreciate the compliment. I certainly do not feel like Superwoman all the time, but at the same time, I think it's having a regimen. I have it right next to me. I am like a planner fiend. It goes everywhere with me. It doesn't leave my side. So I know what I'm supposed to be doing at every single point of every single day. But it's really about prioritizing. You make time for the things that mean the most to you. And these are all things that mean a lot to me: my job, my family, Broncos, and there's a place for them all on every single day. You just have to make the time for them. And sometimes that means you don't get to watch TV that week. And trust me, there have been entire weeks where I haven't even looked at a TV screen or like forgot to open up Instagram, which sounds crazy, but you get in those spaces, but it's definitely manageable.
Yeah, definitely. And it's nice that this team allows you to have that time management all around deal. It comes to, okay, Shauna just asked, our director, Shauna, she just asked us all, hey, there's however many promos this week. Who wants to handle them? And one thing that she is so sweet and kind about is to let us know, like, it is okay to say no. It's okay to say, I've got too much work this week. I really got to go make some time for my family. Like, it's really, really a very positive team that allows you to be yourself, but this is in addition to it. It's not supposed to be, it's about the team. It's about you. And then the team comes next.
Gosh, you said something so important that I think just as a life skill I'm still working on is being able to say no. And I think when you overextend yourselves, you don't only compromise yourself or risk burnout for yourself, but you're also not giving 100% to the causes and things that you believe in. So throughout life, whether it be in school, as much as you can, at work, in your personal life, don't be afraid to say no to protect your peace of mind and protect your well-being, because it's a skill that like I said, I'm still working on, but it makes a difference every single day.
Personal days are not a bad thing. Going and getting a massage, getting your nails done, getting your hair done, it's not a bad thing. Treat yourself. It is okay.
Yes, thank you, ladies, so much. I love that answer. I'm still working on learning how to say no, but yes, it is truly essential.
Totally.
So what's the most important leadership lesson that you learned, and how valuable is it?
Gosh, biggest leadership lesson.
I think when I think of the word leadership, I start to think of where I add value to the team from my own piece of being this little tiny puzzle piece of this big piece, which is the Denver Broncos. Where do I add just a little bit of brie and sprinkle a little bit of brie on top of it? And my small piece of leadership just comes from being able to add my goofiness and my silliness and my fun personality to the JDBC pieces. Like I just said, they really do mean a lot to me. So that's where I like to add my leadership piece, being able to help on the back end and the front end of JDBC.
Certainly. I think I'm going to piggyback off that puzzle piece analogy because I think everyone has a set of strengths, everyone has a set of skills. Then, as a leader, finding opportunities to recognize and prop people up when they're strong, but also offset and help them when they might have something that they can grow in is such a strong leadership quality because that's how you make a better team. You don't do it alone, and you don't have to do everything alone. And finding each other's strengths and also each other's weaknesses and leveling them out and making everyone bigger as a unit is really one of the best leadership qualities you can have, in my opinion, and also problem solving.
And one thing we like to emphasize on too is in quotations, silent leaders. I know that it sounds a little weird, but it's okay to be a leader individually or a leader in here or there, but you don't always have to be like, I'm the captain, I do this and I do that and I do this and I do that. Just adding a small piece of just a little bit of love and care and positivity to somebody's day is enough to be a silent leader and to be positive.
Absolutely.
Yes, that kind of brings me into my next question. How do you all kind of go, because it is a team setting, so how do you all go about team bonding and truly just staying one?
Well, it's funny because we all come from different likes of dance. So, I mean, Taylor and I came from the same team. Some girls came from KC, other girls it came from, college teams all over Denver. So, all in all, when we come together, it's funny because we get this question a lot of, are you guys really friends? Are you guys actually nice to each other? And it is a ginormous family. And everyone loves everyone. It's just a very positive setting when you walk into the locker room. And like it's funny because Taylor is my absolute best friend on the planet, and she is like my go-to girl. And it's funny because brought us together. So I mean, yes, we were on Mammoth together, but I mean Broncos brought us together. So you find a lot of like friends and lifetime sisters on this team.
Yeah, and I think another thing that is beautiful about our team is that we're not one-sided. No girl on our team is all about Broncos and absolutely nothing else. So we've been able to find hobbies and passions that we like, and we do a lot of things outside of dancing with each other, which I think is just great for our brains and our hearts, and it just deepens our friendship because we talk about Broncos is a sisterhood and it's a legacy, and we plan on being friends well beyond our time of retiring. So yeah, it starts here, and I feel like we all find our ways to connect.
Yes, well, again, thank you, ladies, for speaking with me. My family is big on football, me not so much. So I love dance teams. As Mr. Coleman said, I used to be a cheerleader, so we're running short on time, so I'm going to pass it to him.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your question.
Way to go, Mariah. Yeah, I always tell Mariah all the time. She's on the trajectory of being the next Oprah with her interview questions.
Totally. Such a well speaker.
Yeah, definitely. Go Howard. For Denver Broncos cheerleaders, how long are your rehearsals per day leading up to an NFL home game?
It depends. And the reason it depends is because it depends on how much hard work we put in and out of the stadium and how much work we really need to put into formations. Formations are kind of the biggest piece when it comes to our game day, just because we're not just performing for the people in front of us, but the people above us as well. So it really just depends. But I would say, what do you think, Taylor? 4-hour practices every Tuesday, Thursday?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
about 4 hours. And we get the work done, which I think we're all committed to. There's even been practices where we were in and out of there in like 2 hours. But at the same time, if we need to be there till 9:30, 10, we're willing to put the work in.
Yeah.
For your dance choreographer, how long does she or he expect you to learn a new dance routine or a new dance number? And how much input do you have as far as implementation of new dance moves during an NFL home game performance? Do veterans have more of a say so in that category?
Yeah, so when it comes to our routines, we have a lead choreographer, Shelly Trujillo, and she works with a couple other choreographers that we contract throughout the year to kind of bring our pieces to life and make them game day ready. When it comes to our responsibility for learning, we get an agenda ahead of time of what you know 4 to 7, 8 routines we need to know for practice. And then it's kind of on us to make sure we know. Bree mentioned earlier that we have a training camp in the summer. So they brain dump all of those on us and they don't expect us to remember them. We just kind of have to go back and review them. And that's just kind of on our own time to make sure we're prepared for practice. So at no point do we have to know 30 routines at any given time. It certainly doesn't work like that. But at the same time, we do have to have at least a log of something, a video to draw back on so we can bring it back top of mind. And when it comes to the rehearsal room and our choreography, every team member, whether you're a rookie or a veteran, has the same amount of influence on our game day routines, whether it be in the form of a question or maybe trying to problem solve a really difficult transition. But when it comes to the actual choreography itself, it typically comes from our captains and our choreographer.
Yeah,
Wow.
and coming from the girl that is the slowest learner in the room, I promise, like, you will not catch me learning something and knowing it the same day. It doesn't happen.
No.
But being the slowest learner helps you stay positive, being around, women that, don't expect you to know it immediately. But as long as you come back prepared, it keeps, everyone on a same playing field of working together.
Definitely. We have time in the audience for maybe 1 or 2 more questions because I know we're running up on 2.5 minutes of the Zoom call expiring. So please jump in if you have any last questions so I can pass the microphone to you. I'll ask one more question on my end. How often do you work out each week, and how important is health and fitness towards becoming an NFL cheerleader?
Well, I like to jump off by saying NFL cheerleaders, the stigma of eating salads and eating healthy and this and that all the time, it is not real. It is not real. Do not let them fool you. It's not real.
It's fake news. Fake
but
news.
definitely making sure, right, it's fake news. But taking into account your own mental health as well as your own physical health is very, very important. So if I had a long day at work, I went to practice all day, I'm not going to feel bad about going to McDonald's, but am I going to make sure the next morning that I go work that McDonald's off? Yes. So we like to make sure that, at least if for me, myself, I like to work out by myself without being in the practice room at least 3 times a week. And then having those 2 to 3 times practices, which is all cardio most of the time, it helps me at least stay in shape enough that I feel comfortable being able to go eat whatever I want.
Yeah, a great rule of thumb is that just be ready to dance on the field. A game is about 4 hours of nonstop dancing, except for when we're on offense because we have to be quiet. So that said, if you dance for 4 hours, then you're in good shape. And that's what we strive for, is the physical fitness, not a certain body type or a certain diet. And we're really big on that in Broncos, is that you do not have to be any size. You do not have to eat kale every single day. Come as you are, be who you are, and we'll accept you. But there is a physical requirement to being on this team, which is being able to dance 4 hours at a time if necessary.
Yeah, and I think Taylor and it was funny coming from a team where they would literally measure you to make sure that you stayed the same as when you auditioned for the team. It would just give us the worst anxiety.
Yeah.
But this team, they said, hey, it is what it is. You love your own body. As long as you're physically healthy, then we're good.
I'm going to get Sydney and Trinice's questions offline to forward to you because we're about to expire on the Zoom call. Please join us again before the end of the school year. And then if any students have any questions, can we forward those questions to you?
Absolutely. We would love to have them. We have social media and